I'm gonna be debunking Guamgo's newest video in under 5 minutes, specifically in the section where he talks about Mr. Negative. Guamgo claims that Mr. Negative didn't talk about the right law.
The first issue that I personally noticed was that he used the wrong law. Parlo wasn't accused of activity with a child. That section applies only to physical contact. The correct statute for that would be Section 15A, which is communication with a child.
What Guamgo said is a complete lie. In Mr. Negative's actual video, he talks about the right law, Section 15A.
Section 15A of the Sexual Offense Act of 2003.
Guamgo also claims that Parlo is in the clear because he had reasonable belief,
which covers online messages and includes a clause for reasonable belief when someone is deceived about age, which, again, that is Parlo's case.
But that isn't the definition of that law.
And according to Parlo, he thinks that the adult must have intentionally known that the individual was under the age of 16. However, this is a gross misinterpretation of Section 15A. When they're saying that the adult must have intentionally interacted with the person, they're saying that the communication was deliberate, that they knew they were communicating with this person with the purpose of sexual gratification. They're not saying the person must have intentionally known that the individual was under the age of 16. This is why they're saying that the adult committed a crime if they did not have reasonable belief. Because if Section 15A says that the adult must have known that the individual was under the age of 16, then there's no reason to make a defense for reasonable belief. This is why I said in my previous video that the court does not give a shit if the minor lied about their age or catfished you. They simply do not care.
Guamgo also claims that Mr. Negative twisted evidence.
Another thing is that he cropped and twisted evidence. Every screenshot he showed conveniently cut out parts where Dupe said that he was 17. Those missing lines prove Parlo believed Dupe was of age in the UK, but Mr. Negative removed them to push a false narrative.
The problem with the screenshots that Guamgo provided is that they don't match up with the previous Mr. Negative screenshot at all. They come from a completely different context and date. Guamgo also says that Mr. Negative's claims were based off opinions, yet as shown it's based off of the law.
Mr. Negative's analysis was built completely on opinions. There were no facts included in there.
Another thing Guamgo states is that no one would have known if Dupe was 16 to 17 or not.
He repeatedly said that a reasonable person would have known without citing anything.
Well, in Parlo's My Side video, now re-uploaded on his gaming channel due to copyright strikes, he says that there were red flags.
And people may point to Dupe claiming to not have a mic or his reluctance to show me his face when the topic of meeting was being discussed, and may attribute these to red flags, to which you'd be right.
Now some people may argue that Parlo had a logical reason for believing that Dupe had valid justification for not showing Parlo.
However, I believe Dupe had actual logical reasons for why he did not want to disclose his personal information, such as trust issues caused by past trauma.
However, if Dupe didn't have screenshots of himself, then why were there leaked pictures of him in the first place? This means that Dupe has been lying to Parlo about not having selfies. Another red flag, not because of the pictures but because of the lying. Back to Guamgo's video. He says that just because Mr. Negative included a few clips of memes automatically makes his statements a mockery. Guamgo is trying to avoid the full picture here, and that is the legal accountability that Parlo has to take.
And finally, if your serious legal videos full of memes and jokes, you're not educating anyone. You're mocking a real investigation for views. It's misinformation disguised as entertainment, and because of creators like this, lies spread faster than the truth, and this case is the perfect example of that.
In summary, Guamgo lied about the fact that Mr. Negative didn't use the right law, lied about the definition of the law, lied about how there were no signs when Parlo literally admits it himself, and he uses the non-relevant card to distract his viewers from the truth. Finally, I do not need to prove my credibility since this information was dissected from public YouTube sources and logic with the help of evidence, so do not go in the comments and argue that because I made this video with text-to-speech, suddenly I'm not reliable. Goodbye. If you want to debate in the comments, then feel free to do so and I will respond once I have the chance.